Hi, hi goats. First of all, I want to make sure that you can hear me okay. My housemate has some herbs dehumidifying in the background. That's just making some background noise, so I wanted to make sure that you can hear my voice over that. Hi, and good night, Amaris. Thanks for stopping by, but hope you can get some good rest. Hi. Sometimes I pause because I'm like, I'm gonna stutter on the next word. Oh no, but um the 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 good to see you, Winter. Oh, good. I am glad to know that you can hear me. I'm really glad to be back streaming again. My housemate has tested negative, and so far no one else has like we all seem to have come through unscathed. So but I definitely will be testing about on Saturday, which is the 5th day after they tested negative, just to make sure. But yeah, so let me know how you're doing and what you're working on. I feel like, thanks. Yeah, I definitely hope it stays that way too. I feel like I'm now I'm taking a page out of your book, Winter, doing a Lost Souls pattern. Hi, Melissa. Welcome. I'm glad to have you here. All right. Let me know what you're drinking, if you are. Despite my Death Wish mug, I actually have apple cider mix, like a instant apple flavored hot drink. Checking the chat, which is over there on my laptop. Hi, Anvita and Sarah. Good to have you. Thank you. Yes, I love the way it's turning out. This is actually going to be a poncho. Like, this is the bottom edge, and I'm making it for my housemate. Yet another housemate. I've mentioned 3 of them. And it's gonna be 2 triangles, and each of them will use a whole ball of this yarn, or cake, I guess. And it's slowly coming along. And then it will be I'll sew together the top edge, and then it'll be a hole for their neck. So, oh, cool. Yeah, you're still working on this Skinny Puppy concert outfit, right? I'd imagine those things take time. Speaking of updates, my goats finally have something tall enough to sit on now. It was like, yes, at last. Well, they are paying me for it, so I mean it's still I like with crochet, especially for large things, it's really hard to charge what it's worth, so I tend to only do it for friends and housemates and stuff, but still, like, they it is nice to get some funds coming in. Yeah. Yes, that is the second one with this yarn. My housemate saw that one and she was like, I want that. So we checked if they still had it on the Hobie site, and they did. It was deeply discounted because it's Halloween yarn, so I bought a whole bunch. and I'm using. She gave me money to buy 4, and so I bought. So she has 2 of them just to like keep, for I guess a future project that she wants someone to crochet for her, and the other 2 I'm going to be using for this. But yeah. All right, so I've been dyeing yarn. Speaking of, and I'm going to show you that I have it all in all the yarn I have dyed so far in my furls bag. Oh, cool. Yeah, I love putting magic into crochet things too, so yeah, I definitely get that. This is from the first batch. This was when I was dip dyeing. I've switched to a method where I can put the yarn into a mostly dry pan. Like I soak it in the soda ash and water, and then I put the wet yarn into a separate pan and just kind of squirt the dye onto where I want it, and it's a lot easier to put it to be more precise with the colors. So I think I'm going to keep doing that. Plus, it means that I don't risk getting dye on the grill where people also make food. So like soda ash is one thing, but because it's not toxic, like not that you want to eat a lot of it, but like it's not toxic the way that dye can be. So but yeah, this was dip dyeing, and I did try to get a bit of variation. So I think this is the deeper end, but it's pretty uniform. Yeah, let's do some witchcraft. I hope that you will be able to feel confident and happy that day, because you deserve to. Thanks, Sarah. I am excited for this too, and I mean I made it, but I'm excited to show it. Oh yeah, this is the one that I was able to really get this end pale, and then this one deep. This is still the first batch, where I was just doing 3 skeins to kind of try it out. I'm slowly learning how to do the twist and tuck thing. Haven't mastered it maybe, but that looks fine. Oh, cool. Thanks. I'm glad that you like the dip dye. I promised these 3 skeins, since they're my first, like the first fruits of my business, to the goddess that's kind of in charge of my business. One of the main names I know her by is the Inanna. So this is my first attempt at a colorway I'm going to call Vault of Inanna, like the sky. Oh wow, yeah, that could definitely be an intense experience. So I'm glad you have some protective measures in place, and I'm super excited about the second batch, which isn't quite dry, but I went ahead and took it off the hangers. Ooh, the sun just came out, which is fitting because the goddess I made this inspired by, this is my second, mostly finalized attempt at the colorway, Vault of Vault of Inanna. I know her as being very associated with the sun, so it's like hi, hi sun mom, and so this is almost exactly what I pictured in my head, just this deep blue and then the very light, and it's like all the shades of blue that just make me want to cry, and I feel like I put that into a skein of yarn. Hi Draka, and thank you. I love this blue too. Let's switch it up with red. And thank you everyone for your kind words. And Winter, I have not seen that yet in the Discord, but I will check. I will try to remember to check that out. So this is the red and black. It was a bit tricky to handle this fade, but I think that it came out good. One thing I like, at least in some of them, is that I put some red dye in the inner layers where black is kind of on the outside but then like I squirted red in there. I'm so glad I got syringes for my dye. That makes it a lot easier to get it exactly where I want it, and I had to use a lot of red dye for this, which I think I remember seeing on the Dharma website that like that red takes a lot more to make a vivid color. It's Chinese red, it's called, and this black is Raven, but it has a very purpley tone, not just because of the red, but even when I was rinsing out the actual really black end of this yarn, I was seeing a lot of purple in the water, so that's cool. I could probably use that in the future to kind of make a purpley black look. Oh, and this one is inspired by one of the faces of Gwen. Yes, super goth. I think it's a lot of people's two favorite colors, and one of the faces of Gwen that is in the that I know as one of the gods in the Minoan pantheon, at least the one that I follow. His name is Coriodalos, and one of his titles or guises is red champion. So that's what I'm going to call this, either colorway or like collection. I think that at first I'm going to have sort of a collection under a similar theme on the website when I actually build it and get my yarn on there, but because I think that I need to do some more work to actually like lock in a colorway, but that way I can offer some options and kind of invite people to come along on the journey of finding the colorway. So yeah, it is like an I love this comment. It's like a midnight black, like the moon is shining on it. Yes. Yeah, I wasn't sure how deep the black was going to be, because I think I used varying amounts in the different skeins of this, and like the underneath yarn is kind of an off-white, but But yeah, it came out great. Another blue. Thank you. I appreciate all of the love for this yarn. Like it's so exciting, and I can't wait to, you know, get it into people's hands that want to buy it. And yeah. Ooh, my favorite blacks and hand-dyed yarns are either faded dark grays or kind of rusted. Yeah, that makes sense. It's it has a lot more character. So I love how vivid this red is. You can't see it as well, but thank you. I hope to be super boss, and it would be lovely to go viral. Me and my goats. And it's kind of cool how this came out a lot, like there's a lot more gray in here. And I think part of it is something I learned from the first batch, where I have to not have the zip ties be too tight, because then the dye can't go under. But I do kind of like the white stripe here, or like the grayish stripe. I feel like we've been talking about dyeing yarn for forever. I'm so glad this dream is coming true for you, because you absolutely deserve it, Spud friend. Thank you so much. Yeah, I actually I feel like we've been talking about it for forever too. So it's like I've been getting ready for so long. It's amazing to actually be doing it, and I'm like, yeah, and it's actually, once I get into it, it's not that hard. Wow. Kind of built it up in my head, but like I'm still learning how to twist the yarn so that it looks the best in like the hank, but I kind of like this configuration. Yes, that's what I was saying. The light stripe definitely adds character. Here's the last of the blues that I did in this recent batch. I especially love this shade. Just and then like in here, I think this is called electric blue, and something that really fits for me. This color is called deep space. Just got some fiber in yesterday, and I've been saving coffee grounds this week to dye up some squishy goodness this week. It might just be our the potato yarn. Yeah, I can't wait to see how that turns out. I kind of got the hang of it. You have to twist it until it's super tight, almost crushing your thumbs, and you slip the other end through. Yeah, that's what I've been finding out too. Just like I'm not paying as much attention to how I twist it because I'm on camera, but like, plus I'm gonna have to untwist it to let them finish drying, but that's good to know that I was on the right track. And this is a one-off I did to kind of combine the two, red and blue. I'm calling it Mother and Son, because Red Champion is for a deity who's the son of the sun mom that this is for. So I thought I'd just try that out. It also reminds me of the murals at Canosos. Like they have a lot of red, blue, and gold. Kapom Pop, yes. I'm not super familiar with what that is, but I kind of get the general idea of just like those popsicles that have really vivid colors, right? Oh, thanks. Yeah, I like how the two colors play together. Reminds me of a character from the video game. Oh, cool. Yeah, I one thing I actually love is, speaking of being boss at yarn, I love Boss Kitty's yarn because I love yarn that's inspired by stories and characters, and that's pretty much all that they do. Um, I think this is maybe the lightest of the black yarns, but I love how it has this purple gray look, and like it really has a nice fade up to the red. Oh, by the way, um, what what video game was it? If you want to share. Speaking of coffee grounds, I decided that I need to go ahead and buy more Death Wish coffee. So I'm I started a subscription in my own name previously, since I didn't have a lot of money. My mom was buying it for the household. I have no idea if she's canceled it by now. Like I think it's still she tends to just let things happen, so I feel like she's just gonna probably have Death Wish coffee beans coming to her for the next 10 years. But yeah, now I'm gonna get them too, because I was like, you know, I'm spending money on coffee, and it is nice to be able to use my EBT food stamps on it, which I can't do with Death Wish. But if I'm not spending that money on coffee, then I can make it. I can spend more of it on the other food, and I think it will kind of even out. So like I'm just gonna see how it goes, but how it goes. But I was like, yeah, Death Wish coffee makes me really happy to have in my life. So I'm gonna go ahead and make that purchase. Ooh, if you like indie dyers, I suggest you look into Creation Chaos. She hand dyes pearl cotton, and she's a tie-dye artist. Ooh, yeah, I will have to do that. Yeah, because I haven't been able to find very many resources about plant fibers, which is what this is. I'm not sure if I said, but this is a batch of bamboo yarn from a site called Vegan Vegan Yarns. So yeah, it would be great to check out that person. Creation Chaos. I'm just gonna open a tab and search that so I don't forget. Okay. The video game Baton Kaitos. Nice. Yeah, feel free to DM me post it on the Discord if you want. It'll even out for sure. You got to do what makes you happy. Yeah, that's what I've realized. Like, if not that I shouldn't be careful about money, but to some extent, I need to, like, it's this whole thing is a lot more sustainable if I'm doing things that make me happy, because then, for one thing, I feel like doing the work that brings in more money, whereas if I'm like not, if at least for me, if I if I don't do things that make me happy. I was trying to look for a different way to say that, but it's like, yeah, that's just the way that we're just gonna keep saying the same phrase. Then it just feels like I lose my juice to do things or drive. So yeah. Oh, she's on Etsy and Instagram. Cool. Yeah, I'll have to check her out. Does she dye yarn or like cotton fabric, or both? I think I will start working on this Lost Souls shawl. Oh. Yeah, visualization can be intense sometimes. She dyes pearl cotton. It's basically floss, but she did try her hand at yarn once. Oh, like for embroidery? Cool. I have a lot of her floss. It's absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, I've watched a few people on FlossTube, as they call it. Embroidery, cross stitch, all of that, and sometimes they talk about people that hand dye floss, and then there's also people that hand dye the fabric that they stitch on. Like, they are like, it's so fun seeing people who are super into a thing that I'm just kind of a friendly observer on, because I'm not as invested personally with all of my hopes and dreams like I am with watching crochet stuff. So it's just like, yeah, that's cool. Hi, Sarah. That's because you're visualizing yourself at the Skinny Puppy concert. Yeah, it makes sense. Well, I hope that goes well, because that sounds like it could, and hopefully will be a great time. Hi, Ruby. I am glad that you're here. No update on the spicy graph gun I'm doing for Ruby. I finished it, so I'm going to post a reel about it on Instagram. And now I actually started the second graph gun, which is for me for like 2 two moments in my trans and pagan journey. No, that's fine. Like, I talk a lot about things that are on my mind too. So yeah, please keep talking about things that you want to talk about. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Past experiences can definitely have a big effect. Oh right, a couple of new people have showed up, so this is my yarn. Yeah, those people are great. Just the ones with really strong, like, energy and stage presence. Just gonna quickly recap. This is my red. It's going to be called Red Champion. This is one of the blues. Thank you, Ruby. I love how many shades of blue are in here. I mixed 3 different blues, and there was a 4th that I meant to add in, but I forgot, so probably next time. It's the rest of the blue that I mixed up from the first batch, and one of the yarns just fell down between the desk and the other thing. That's fine. I'll get it when we're done. Yeah, thanks for stopping by, Sarah. Hope you have a good dinner. Oh, I was like, what is that? Streamlabs doesn't usually tell me when someone has subscribed. Like, I've gotten notifications on my phone, and then like the last one is several weeks ago on Streamlabs, but someone just subscribed, so thank you. Ruby, I would love to have one of these go, or more go to your house. Whatever you want to do with it. And this is my one-off that kind of combines the red and blue, because the blue is for mother goddess that I follow, and the red is for her son, who's a face of my patron. So this one is called Mother and Son. So yeah, winter that definitely. I definitely feel that, and hope that you have a really like it's a positive kind of intense. So. Trying to see if any did fall off actually. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. This one. Okay, we're good actually. I do not have any yarn overboard. I feel like I'm one of the cool kids now. I have hand-dyed yarn. The next challenge is to build my website. I bought it and it's Wix, so it's not, it's meant to be pretty easy, but like I have to actually do it. Yeah, I love that pun. The overwhelm. They're all so different. This is the colorway I'm working on with called Red Champion. Oh, thank you. And I'm pretty happy with how I was going to experiment a bit, but I'm like, I may just keep it mostly like this for Volta Inanna, like the sky. These were the first batch, which I dip dyed, and these are for said goddess, but most of the rest I'll be putting up on the site. So I'll definitely let you know when that happens. So. And in the meantime, I'm also crocheting. The second time I've been working up a Lost Souls pattern with this. As Winter pointed out, I did one for me, and then my housemate saw it, and she was like, I want that. So she's paying me to make one for her, too. And this one is going to use 2 of these instead of just one. And I have a pretty small hook because she wanted the fabric to be more tight. So it's going to take a while, but that's fine. Yeah, it's a gorgeous pattern. Oh wow, 4 in total. Yeah. The first one you made, your mom instantly stole. Yeah, it has that effect on people, it seems like. My housemate keeps saying that she loves that people will see this and be like, oh, that's a lovely lace shawl, and then look closely and be like, wait, skulls? And it seems like that's, you know, that just fits her whole vibe, so. I'm excited to be part of that for her. Ooh, you're using a 3.25 hook for your the Baba Yaga shawl. It's much neater. Yeah, it really gets good stitch definition with a smaller hook. But then, as I think you pointed out to me, Winter, you have a nice drape with a larger hook, so it's basically what you want to go for. The terror in their eyes too, the skulls. Oh yeah. I'm like, these skulls look very alarmed. Like the other pattern I've done a couple of has teeth, and they don't look scared. They're just like, it's just they just kind of look neutral. It as a skull can, but these ones are like so. Whoa, that's so cool. You made it in a cookies and cream colorway, so it looked like aged lace. I love aged lace. She's a docent at an Adobe and wanted it for one of their Halloween tours. Yeah, that's cool. Remind me what an Adobe is. I know the word, but I'm not sure exactly what it means in this context. Yeah, that makes sense. The facial expression is, it's so expressive. So also, like, the rows are wide enough now that I only have to do a couple, and then I'll get to the next section of yarn where with this yarn it's 4 strands, very loosely wound, and like currently we have 2 pink and 2 purple, and the next at some point one of the strands will end, and they'll just have a tiny knot, and a new strand of a different color will be added in, so probably it'll be 3 pink and 1 purple next. So I get to the next section relatively quickly, or it feels like it, and that helps me feel like it's going faster. Just like, yeah, tons of little lost souls reminding you of how lost you are in life. Yeah. Basically, yeah, like a house, like a historical one for the founding families from our county. Or is that county or country? But yeah, cool. Nice. Oh, that is a fitting shirt then, if it has the scream on it. I assume they use that in the art for one of their albums, which makes sense. Like it's a very goth painting. Oh wow, I'm glad I checked. County, no R. Okay, that's good. That's good to know. Glad I checked that because I messed up one of the motifs over here. I'm much more willing to go back and frog when I'm doing something for a person who's paying me. So no, they didn't. They just made some artsy shirts. Oh, okay, yeah. Still, like, from what I've heard of their, I don't know much about them except that they're one of the spooky alt bands. They like that seems to fit their vibe. What row am I on? I definitely don't have a number, but like if you mean like which part of the skulls, one of them, so as you know, you do two skulls at once in different, you're in different phases of two different skulls at the same time. So for the almost finished one, I'm on, I'm about to do the 10 across row, like when you do 10 across the forehead. And for this one, I'm about to do the 7 double crochet for the chin. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Which row in the repetition? I forget which part of the repetition this is, or like what number it is. I just know what I'm doing next. Okay, row 10. Yeah, that makes sense. Are you going to do another live next week? We're doing that llama, the amigurumi, and I think I'll have some funny stories to tell. Yeah, yes, I will. Now that the COVID thing has passed, hopefully, I mean, in our house, I'm hoping to continue going live every Thursday night at this time, and then most Sundays. So yeah, I would love to hear about the llama stories. I do remember that from Alt Knots Live. With you were voluntold to teach people how to crochet, and their first project was a whole amigurumi. You know, that's cool that you're at the point where you know the row number. Yeah, there are a few parts like that where I'm like, it's easy to mess up. One of the ones that got me until I kind of made a note of it is most of the time when you do the chain 3 and then down onto the skull motif, you single crochet, but there's one time when you half double, and at one point I was like, I can't remember when this is, but it's but that one is for the eyes, so it kind of makes it easier for me to remember. The one different one is the eye holes. There's one other person who has some crocheting experience, but it's going to be interesting. Trying to think positive. Yeah, it's sending the spooky vibes. Kind of want to make a light purple or mint green one, but who on earth is going to buy that ever, though? Well, you never know. And even if someone doesn't know that they want it, that they love that, they might see it and go, huh, that actually looks gorgeous, and I would buy that. Yeah, that half double crochet, like, she's not like the other girls. This will only make sense if you're familiar with Kaiser Permanente, which is my health insurance, and they're kind of weird. They like to have everything all in their system, and they're both health insurance and all of the doctor stuff. So like I've personally had good experiences with them, but like I made the joke to my friend that um, Kaiser isn't Kaiser isn't like the other girls. they're they're different. But yeah. Yeah, oh, lilac and mint green sounds um, gorgeous. Yeah, I'm trying to think how you, like, I'm sure there's a way you could blend them in, or not blend, but just like combine them in a way that looks good, but um, I'm I'm also not trying to pressure you into doing it if you don't want to. Yeah. Oh wow, it's actually started to rain. Um, we I was told that by my housemate that we might see snow today, which is not usual for this part of California. Like it does get cold, but usually not snow weather. And down in LA, my friend said there was a blizzard warning. In LA, like it it's not hot all the time. Like it does get chilly, but not cold enough for snow most of the time. So are we getting that big storm? I'm not sure. Remind me where you are, and I might be able to. Well, I'm actually not sure what the weather is going to be coming up, but I wouldn't surprise me. You're south of Santa Barbara, and we got the possible blizzard warning too. Yeah, it's wild. Ooh, yeah, that that sounds fun as a colorway. Um, yeah, I was thinking that my friend said that that Ventura. So I can't remember what it's called. This is one of the Dahlia Halloween, and I think it's called Freaky Nightmare, but I could be wrong. But it's so pretty. It just looks like a Halloween sunset or a campfire, and just feels very like cozy goth to me. Yeah, it's kind of frustrating because they don't have the names on um, the the labels, so you have to go to the website. Oh, good, I was right. Oh, who's on the Ravelry? Says color 05, but no name on the label. Yeah, it's a couple times recently I have just been doing my daily life and thinking this is like those room escape games I've been playing a lot of, where you have to look at you have to open all the covers to find clues, and you're like, oh, that sounds like a it could be the passcode for this safe that I need to open over in a different part of the house. And it's a couple times I find myself thinking, I'm so glad that my life is not like that, because I often have to look up the walkthrough. But they're so fun. But in the Alt-Knots Live, I mentioned the Detective Kate series for adventure escape games. It's for Android, and it's I think that Kayla thought it was a book, and but it's not a book. It's a game, so you can't really crochet while doing it, but it is kind of a similar cozy the murder mystery type of thing. So yeah. Oh, the names of the yarns are on Ravelry. Okay, that's good to know. Yes, Zara, they are good. So your color is hypnotized. Yeah. Oh, I'm Ruby. I'm glad that you also love those games. And I'm not the only one who has to look up the walkthrough, because like I'm trying to tell myself like it's not a bad thing to do. I'm here to have fun, not to like. If I'm not having fun, then I'm gonna not. I have no obligation to the game to struggle through it. But I am proud of myself when I can solve a puzzle, but sometimes I kind of know what the answer will be. Like, okay, it's based on that series of clues, but there's a lot of math involved, and I just don't want to do the math, or like I have to click back and forth and check things, and I'm like, I don't want to keep all that in my head or take notes, so I'm just gonna go look at what the actual answer is. So yeah. Also, wow, that hour flew by, but so we're about at the time when I need to get out of here. Have to kick myself out? Not that way, but yeah, thank you so much for coming and oohing and ahhing over my yarn. Stay tuned for more yarn and more goats. And hope you all have a good day, and goat bye.